JFK and Jimmy Carter, they're running around pretending like they're military people or that they're part of the military, and they're really just a bunch of guys that have a bunch of guys around them, and they're basically just saying, "Yeah, we're guarding the president, or they're guarding the leader," and they're really not guarding anyone or anything. And basically, they're just running around shooting people and killing people throughout Germany and other places. And anyway, though, they're claiming to be the us government, which is basically kind of like Congress. It doesn't mean anything, and it's nothing more than to pass through or pass by or pass over or to Congress or to have sex or something else like that. And they spend all their money. I mean, they're going up against real military units and real installations, and all they have is motorcycles and sidecars and stuff like that. And basically, they found some of my prototype. I had these prototype motorcycles made, and they had fat tires and all that other stuff. And the Hell's Angels, or basically the US group, gets them basically, and starts using them as elite Nazi groups. And like I say, they have that's how and George W. Bush came to power, or whatever, got into the White House supposedly elected as basically a war veteran, a World War II veteran. But the thing is that he's not old enough. None of them are. None of them are old enough to have been war veterans or distinguished in any way. Anyway, the war was a long time ago. Vietnam was the newest war or whatever, but and that wasn't really a war. We're really more like just torturing Chinese and Japanese people and Koreans. So anyway, and like I say, I had nothing to do with any of that, and realistically, that was basically JFK, Jimmy Carter, George W. Bush, and all of them claiming to be a government, but actually weren't being a government. They were just renting the White House. Anyway, you have all this stuff that basically is going on and has been going on for the last 40 years, basically while I was playing child. While I was being a child, they were basically wrecking the world between 1970 and 1950 and 1970. Yeah, whatever. I don't really care. It's like, I mean, I don't. It's not really my problem, nor did I have anything to do with it. Claiming that they work for the German government or the American government or some government, but they don't really work for any government. They're a civilian group, and they're claiming to be doing all this and that kind of stuff. But realistically, they're just going around raping and doing drugs, and realistically, just causing a mess. Anyway, yeah, because George W. Bush is not old enough to have been in any war other than maybe Vietnam, and that wasn't really anything. That was really more like, and that was John McCain, shoot him in the back, John McCain, that actually had a whole bunch of Chinese people assassinated, and then they threw a bunch of Chinese people out the back of cargo planes or helicopters to die, and they were Unit 731 people because they didn't want them testifying about what 731 was really doing, which is basically just normal research and everything else like that, and they're trying to say that they did this and they did that, and realistically they had them in jail, and then on their release or whatever or something like that, they threw them on their helicopter. I don't really know. It's considered national security and top secret. Need to know. And like I say, Nixon was claiming all this stuff, and he was actually he was JFK with a facelift. The fake Kennedys, one of the fake Kennedy people. Anyway, like I say, I don't really care. It's not my problem, but it's a world's problem, as they were basically just using bombers and all kinds of other stuff to basically wreak havoc around the world. Where you have Hell's Angels basically in having military hardware and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, you're not supposed to have that, and basically access to nuclear weapons. And basically, we're pretty much like a large city in Russia almost got taken out because one of these idiots had a nuclear bomb connected to a cell phone in the back of his car. It was in Russia. It was like, you can't arrest me or else we'll all go. And basically he clicks it and it should have gone off. And even Putin's like, whoa. Every real leader of any country is like, wow, these guys are just crazy. Anyway, it's like, well, this is I'm the real president of America, and I'm the real leader. I'm the real Lucifer Star. Anyway, and all these crazy guys are just running around, driving around cars. And well, meanwhile, I'm playing child. Basically being a child. And supposedly, well, Germany was looking after it. Now they're real groups that basically want to live to see tomorrow without a nuclear winter. basically have to deal with these people pretty much, because these people do have nuclear weapons, and they do have, and they actually take out whole towns and whole cities, claiming to be working for the president or working for the leader, and they're not really working for anyone really, other than they're stealing a bunch of stuff. And you have General Rodney out there and everything else like that, and basically commanding my Nelson class Rodney ship, and that's probably why they changed the Nelson class, changed the name of the Rodney to the Nelson class, because that way he wouldn't maybe he wouldn't know that the ship was named after him. And there's 3 of those actually. Anyway, though, yeah, and they're state of the art and awesome and all that other stuff. Anyway, there's all this mayhem and chaos, and basically a bunch of people getting raped, a bunch of people doing drugs, and a bunch of people getting killed. And it's like, whatever. Everyone else gets to deal with it. I'm watching a motor being replaced. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, and they were trying to kill me, the creator to humanity. Well, creator of endoskeleton life forms, my inside-out exoskeletons and endoskeleton life forms, and 12 other forms of life. Trying to claim that there's no other life in space, but life is everywhere. There's 400 or 120 other planets with humans on them, including Chinese, Japanese, and Russians, and also probably Germans. Germans have a couple planets of their own, and spaceships. Anyway, so yeah, whatever.